Yo, what's good fam? Today we're diving deep into the messy world of Daemon and Viserys Targaryen. These brothers ain't your average siblings, trust me. They're at the heart of all the drama in House of the Dragon. And boy, do they bring the heat. We're talking major family beef that shakes up the whole kingdom. You think your family dinners are awkward? Wait till you hear about these two. They got love, they got hate, they got dragons, it's a whole mix of crazy. So grab your popcorn, cause we're about to unpack what really went down between these two Targaryen bros. Now let's rewind a bit and talk about where these dudes came from. Their grandparents were the real OGs of Westeros. Old King Jaehaerys and good Queen Alysanne. These two were like the Beyoncé and Jay-Z of their time, ruling for decades and dropping heirs left and right. I'm talking 13 kids, y'all. That's enough for a whole basketball team and some bench players. But here's the kicker. Out of all those kids, only Balon and Alyssa, Daemon and Viserys' parents, decided to keep it in the family and marry each other. Talk about keeping the bloodline pure. And get this, they were also two of the only 3 dragon riders in the bunch. So yeah, Daemon and Viserys, they come from Targaryen royalty on steroids. Now, Balon and Alyssa, these two were tighter than skinny jeans. They grew up together, fell in love, and were basically inseparable. It's like one of those childhood sweetheart stories, but with dragons and incest. You know, typical Targaryen stuff. Balon was known as the Spring Prince and Balon the Brave. Dude had 2 nicknames before he hit puberty. And Alyssa, she was a whole vibe. Dressed like a boy, hung out with the boys, and wasn't afraid to get her hands dirty. These two were the power couple of their time. They were out here riding dragons, ruling kingdoms, and making babies. It's like they were living their best lives, medieval style. And let me tell you, their love story set the stage for all the drama that was about to unfold with their sons. So let's talk about when Viserys and Daemon came into the picture. Viserys popped out first, probably already worrying about the kingdom or something. Then, a few years later, here comes Daemon, probably causing trouble from day one. At first, they had this whole happy family thing going on. You know, mom and dad doting on their little princes, teaching them how to not get burned by dragons. Typical royal stuff. It was all good in the Targaryen hood. Viserys was probably the goody two-shoes, always following the rules, while little Daemon was out here trying to ride dragons before he could walk. They had no idea about all the crazy that was going to go down in their lives. For a minute there, it was all dragon rides and family dinners, but you know how it goes. In Westeros, the good times never last long. Man, things took a real dark turn when their mom, Alyssa, passed away. She was mad young too, only 24. It's like she was here one minute, gone the next. Viserys was only 7, and little Daemon, just 3 years old. Can you imagine losing your mom at that age? That's the kind of stuff that messes you up for life. Viserys was old enough to remember her, to feel that loss deep. But Daemon, he was so young, he might not even have clear memories of her. That's gotta hurt in a different way, you know. Losing a parent that young, it changes everything. The way you see the world, the way you deal with people, all of it. This tragedy, it's like the first domino to fall in the crazy lives these brothers were about to lead. So now we got Balon trying to be both mom and dad to these 2 young boys. It couldn't have been easy, especially being a royal and all. Dude never remarried, never had more kids. It was just him and his boys against the world for the next 8 years. Can you imagine? A single dad raising 2 princes, teaching them how to rule, how to ride dragons, how to be Targaryens. That's a lot of pressure. Balon was probably out here trying to balance being hand of the king and making sure his kids didn't burn down the castle with their dragons. He must have been shaping their characters, teaching them about duty and honor and all that royal jazz. But you gotta wonder, did he have time to deal with their emotional needs after losing their mom? Did he show them how to handle their feelings, or was it all about being tough and royal? This single dad situation probably had a big impact on how Viserys and Daemon turned out. Now let's talk about one of the coolest parts of being a Targaryen, dragon riding. This is where things get real interesting between the brothers. Viserys, being the older one, gets first dibs on dragons. And what does he pick? Balerion the Black Dread, the biggest, baddest dragon around. But here's the thing, Balerion was old as dirt by then. This dragon was more interested in naps than flying. And get this, Balerion dies less than a year later. It's like Viserys picked a dragon that matched his vibe. Old before its time, and not really into the whole adventure thing. Now Daemon, he goes and claims Caraxes, a young, fiery dragon that used to belong to their uncle. It's like the dragons matched their personalities. Viserys with the old, sleepy one, and Daemon with the wild, unpredictable one. This dragon business, it's like a metaphor for their whole relationship. When it came to getting hitched, Viserys and Daemon couldn't have been more different. Viserys marries Aemma Arryn, and he's all about that married life. Dude takes his vows seriously, trying to be a good husband and future king. He's out here doing his duty, being all responsible and stuff. Now Daemon, he gets paired up with Rhea Royce, and he's like, nah, I'm good. Homie couldn't care less about his marriage. It's like he saw it as a chore, something he had to do but didn't want to put any effort into. You can already see how different these brothers are. Viserys is all about following the rules, doing what's expected. Daemon, he's living life like it's a party, not worried about responsibilities or what people think. This difference in how they approach their marriages, is just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to how different these two were. Now let's break down these brothers' personalities, cause they're as different as night and day. Viserys is like that one friend who always wants to keep the peace. He's dodging conflicts like they're punches in a boxing ring. Dude's all about duty and doing what's right for the kingdom. He's the type to think things through, maybe overthink them before making a move. Then we got Daemon. This guy, he's a whole different story. Daemon's like a firecracker, explosive, unpredictable, and always ready to go off. He's living life like it's a non-stop adventure, consequences be damned. While Viserys is worrying about the future of the realm, Daemon's out here starting fights, chasing thrills, and basically doing whatever the hell he wants. It's like one brother got all the chill and the other got all the fire. You gotta wonder how two dudes who grew up in the same castle turned out so different. Just when everyone thought they had it all figured out, life threw a major curveball. Their pops, Balon, kicks the bucket out of nowhere. We're talking a man in his prime, gone just like that. This ain't just a family tragedy, it's a whole kingdom shakeup. Suddenly, Viserys is next in line for the throne. Can you imagine? One day you're chilling, doing your prince thing, and the next you're about to be king of the whole damn continent. For Viserys, it must have been like someone dumped a bucket of ice water on him. He's probably freaking out, thinking about all the responsibility. And Daemon, well, this changes things for him too. His big bro is about to be the big boss, and he's, what, the spare, the backup plan? This unexpected turn of events, it's like throwing gasoline on the fire of their already complicated relationship. So, after their dad dies, things get real messy real quick. The whole kingdom is like, who's gonna be the next king? And they call this big meeting the Great Council of 101 AC. It's like a medieval version of a reality TV show finale. Everyone's there, placing bets, picking sides. Now here's where it gets interesting. Daemon, he goes all in for his big bro. I'm talking raising armies, making alliances, the whole 9 yards. It's like he's Viserys' biggest hype man. Meanwhile, Viserys is just chilling, waiting for the decision like it's no big deal. It's a wild contrast. Daemon ready to start a war for his brother, and Viserys just going with the flow. This council, it's not just about picking a king, it's showing us exactly who these brothers are and how they handle pressure. Now Viserys gets the crown, but let me tell you, it ain't all it's cracked up to be. Dude's struggling. It's like he got this job he never applied for and now he's in way over his head. You can see it weighing on him, making him second guess everything. He's trying to be a good king, make the right choices, but it's clear he'd rather be doing anything else. And how does this affect his relationship with Daemon? Man, it's complicated. On one hand, Viserys probably relies on Daemon more than ever. But on the other, he's probably jealous of Daemon's freedom while Viserys is stuck making tough decisions and dealing with boring council meetings. Daemon's out there living his best life. This crown, it's not just heavy on Viserys' head, it's coming between the brothers, changing their whole dynamic. Alright, now we're getting into some real secret society type stuff. Turns out Viserys is carrying around this heavy secret, a prophecy passed down through the Targaryen line. It's not just any old fortune cookie wisdom, this is end of the world level stuff. Can you imagine having that on your shoulders? Viserys is out here trying to run a kingdom and keep this massive secret at the same time. And Daemon, he's in the dark about all of this. This prophecy thing, it's like a wall between the brothers. Viserys can't share it, can't unload that burden. It's just one more thing pushing them apart. You gotta wonder, if Daemon knew about this prophecy, would he take things more seriously? Would he understand his brother better? This secret is like the elephant in the room of their relationship. Big, obvious, but never talked about. So here's the thing about Viserys and Daemon. They're stuck in this loop, you feel me? It's like a dance they can't stop doing. Daemon's always out there wilding, pushing boundaries, doing crazy stuff. And Viserys, he's constantly trying to rein his little bro in. It's like watching a cat try to herd a dragon. Viserys is all about keeping the peace, maintaining the status quo. But Daemon, he's a chaos machine. Every time Daemon pulls some wild stunt, Viserys has to clean up the mess. It's gotta be exhausting for both of them. Viserys probably feels like he's babysitting a grown man, while Daemon's feeling suffocated by his big bro's rules. This back and forth, it's shaping their whole relationship. It's like they can't break free from these roles they've fallen into. Now here's the crazy part. Despite all this drama, all these differences, these two still got love for each other. It's like no matter how much they fight or disagree, there's this unbreakable bond between them. Maybe it's because they lost their mom so young, or because they only had each other growing up. Whatever it is, it's strong. You can see it in how they always come back to each other no matter what. It's like they're two sides of the same coin. Can't stand each other sometimes, but can't be without each other either. This bond, it's what makes their relationship so fascinating. They're not just brothers, they're not just rivals, they're both, all at once. It's messy, it's complicated, but it's real. So, where does all this leave us? We've got these two brothers, Viserys and Daemon, who've been through it all together. They've faced loss, unexpected responsibility, secrets, and conflicts. Their relationship, it's been a roller coaster, full of ups and downs, twists and turns. But here's the million-dollar question. What happens when Viserys is gone? Daemon's always had his big bro there, holding him back, keeping him in check. But now, the leash is off. What's Daemon gonna do with all that freedom? Is he gonna step up and honor his brother's memory? Or is he gonna let loose and cause chaos like never before? One thing's for sure, without Viserys, Daemon's world is gonna be turned upside down. It's like the final chapter in their complicated story, and we're all just waiting to see how it ends. And there you have it, fam. That's the real deal on Daemon and Viserys Targaryen. Their story is wild, messy, and full of drama, just like family often is. It's a tale of love, rivalry, duty, and rebellion. These brothers might have dragons and crowns, but at the end of the day, they're just trying to figure out their place in the world, just like the rest of us. So next time you're watching House of the Dragon, remember, there's always more to the story than meets the eye. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more cool content. Share your thoughts with us in the comments below. Thanks for watching and catch you next time.